vision for America. I want to be part of a return to prosperity, a true economic boom that lifts all Americans, a return to a government restrained by the Constitution.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there he is, Rand Paul, and here he is. Joining us now is former Congressman from the great state of Colorado, former Republican presidential candidate, Tom Tancredo. Hello, Congressman. How are you?
I'm well, sir. I'm very well, thank you.
All right, your response to the announcement by Senator Paul.
Well, I hate to sound like the reporterette that was giving him a hard time on television yesterday morning, but the fact is he is going to have to explain a lot of things that, he's going to have to walk a very, very thin line between wanting people to believe that he is indeed tough on ISIS and in terms of his foreign policy, that he's going to be interventionist as opposed to non-interventionist, which has been his past, of course. And on the other hand, what's he going to do about immigration? If he wants to win the Republican primary, he's going to have to, again, walk a very, very thin line between what he has said in the past and his libertarian tendencies, and now, a Republican electorate that doesn't want open borders. So, but he's a very smart guy, and probably if anybody out there can do it, if any candidate can walk that line, it's probably him.
Yeah, but it's one thing to walk the line, and it's another thing to walk the walk, as they say, and equivocating and trying to explain yourself. But who is the real? It's going to come down to who is the real Rand Paul. That's
exactly right. And I would bet that the real Rand Paul is much more like his daddy, with whom I served, than he is a changed man on the issues that I really think are very important, foreign policy and immigration especially.
Yeah, well, of course, his father lost me on many things, but he once said to me, why can't Iran have a bomb? We have a bomb. Why shouldn't they have a bomb?
That's right. Yeah, I had many, we got along on a lot of issues. And actually, I belonged to what he called the Liberty Caucus, I think. And we would meet in his office once a month. And it was very interesting and somewhat stimulating. But believe me, when we were both on the stage with his, when I was running for Congress for president,
yeah,
in 2007, we got into a fairly heated debate, I guess, on the stage, because he said essentially, look, there's nothing about Islam that we should fear. They wouldn't be upset with us if we didn't have boots on the ground in Saudi Arabia. Well, or Israel. It always goes back to Israel, our support for Israel.
Right. Well, it's one thing for Ron Paul to say that, several years ago. It's certainly another for the current president of the United States to not only say that in my mind, but believe that and exercise foreign policy based on that. And you wrote a great piece at WND.com talking about how you believe Obama is flirting with treason by capitulating to Iran on this quote-unquote deal.
Yeah, well, because what is the primary responsibility of the President of the United States, really? It is not to provide health care for everybody. It is not to make sure that people can come through our borders at their desire, at their whim. No, those things are not the responsibility of the President. The responsibility of the President under our Constitution is to protect and defend. This is not protection by anybody. I mean, I don't know who could possibly look at the framework, because the old saying about the devil being in the details. We don't have detail. The devil is in the plan, believe me, in the framework. And I don't know how anyone can look at this arrangement and consider that he is doing his job to defend this country. In fact, he's going far to the other extent and doing things that will put this country in great peril. And that, I think, is flirting with treason.
What about his remarks on some things Christians say bother him, yesterday on the heels of the Crusades remarks, while ignoring the slaughter of the Christians in Kenya?
Yeah, listen, this president, no matter how he tries to portray himself in terms of his religious proclivities, because he's never been baptized to anybody's knowledge in a Christian church. We do know, of course, of his past participation in Islamic religion in terms of schooling and that sort of thing. So the reality is he's not a Christian. I don't think he cares one twit about what Christians say. And I think, this is my belief, that he is antagonistic to Christianity because it is part of Western civilization. And that is what he also finds disdainful.
Congressman, great to talk to you, sir. Got to go. Thank you very much. Up next, the president and CEO of FreedomWorks, Matt Kibbe.